Hi everyone, this is Darren, aka FizzFop. May 5th was Free Comic Book Day. As you know, it's a geek holiday of sorts. And my plan was to purchase 2 comic books from 5 comic book shops, and then afterwards have a very special evening lined up. So, let me take you on a trip through Columbus, Ohio, one comic shop at a time. First, we'll start on the east side of Columbus with a stop at World's Greatest Comics. It's located in a suburb of Westerville, Ohio. It's about a 10-minute drive from my condo. It carries a relatively small selection of new titles. The owner told me that he only carries books that sell. They have a really great Bronze Age selection for back issues. They carry a lot of fanzines and magazines and a lot of obscure stuff. And they've got some Golden Age books as well. And Westerville actually has a Ghostbusters club, and you can see that they were out in force that day.
They ain't afraid of no ghost. But they should be afraid of the parking lot. Yikes.
I purchased Avengers number 1 and Mr. Miracle number 8. From there, I drove about 15 minutes to North Columbus and Comicstown. Comicstown had like a 20 to 30 minute line out the door. What's crazy is that they've been open for about 2 hours at that point. Of course, while I was waiting in line, we got a drive-by by the Westerville Ghostbusters.
I'd love to see what the Carfax looks like on that ride.
Gotta love those guys. Inside the store, there was a lot of excitement going on. Aftershock Comics had a table inside, and a number of local artists also had set up tables and was interacting with fans, and that's something that's always good to see. Something I'd like to point out, this is the line for the free comics, and contrast that with the wall of new titles for sale. People were buying books. I saw a guy drop about, I think I heard $65 at the cash register. So people were buying stuff. I purchased the first 2 issues of the new Gender Swap Green Hornet series there. From there, I drove all the way to the west side of Columbus to a place called Pack Rat Comics. It was about a 20-minute drive from Comicstown. This shop has won the Eisner Spirit Award and was named Comic Book Shop of the Year a while back. Out front, they had a bouncy ball castle. Inside, they have a large selection of new titles. If you can't find it here, chances are you're not going to find it. In the basement, they have a great selection of back issues. While I was standing in line, I saw a guy drop $180. I saw another guy drop $120. They had a room set up for artists. Of course, what brings most people out to Pack Rat Comics on Free Comic Book Day is the costume contest. And looking over everything, I would have to say that Marvel Avengers, the core group, was probably one of the more popular costumes. One thing I want to note was I did not see a lot of Star Wars costumes out there. In fact, I think I saw one the entire day I was out. I picked up Mighty Crusaders number 4 and issue number 1 of a new Fighting American series. The final place I was able to hit was the Laughing Ogre in Clintonville, which is just north of The Ohio State University. It's also a very nice store. The owner does something interesting. He does a lot of local radio show promotions. I've heard him on the radio promoting Free Comic Book Day and the 1000th issue of Action Comics. Props to him because he also promotes all the other comic book shops, and he'll name their locations and where they're at and talk about them as well, and promotes them in a very positive way. Outside the store, there were the Ghostbusters again. There was also some artists out there selling their wares. And one thing I thought was really neat was they had a make-your-own comics table set up for kids. I hope one day there's like a real comic book pro that comes out of a table like that. Like their passion for comics got started there. There, I oddly enough found Mighty Crusaders number 3, which I was missing, and I also picked up the DC Nation book. I sort of cheaped out there. I was in a hurry at that point because I was running out of time. I wanted to hit a 5th comic book shop, but I wanted to make it to the opening of the Mad Magazine exhibit at the Billy Ireland Comic Museum at The Ohio State University. I would show you more, but that's another video. Anyway, that's the way I spent my Free Comic Book Day. Hope yours was a great one too. Until next time, later all.